So why did they decide to call it Java? The technology is legendary. Okay, can we just take a moment and maybe not put Java like that high? I mean, legendary. I don't know about that. But how and why Sun Microsystems eventually settled on the name Java was always something of a mystery, even to those involved. Okay. When Time Magazine called Java one of the 10 best products of 1995, what does that even mean? Okay, this might be the craziest sentence. Okay, I thought calling Java legendary, having Time Magazine calling it one of the best 10 products? What? What does that even mean? A new American marketing legend was born. Who's to say whether Sun Microsystems' prize technology would have fared so well if its name had been renamed to Oak or Green Talk, two of the earlier choices? Ah, Green Talk, a little iteration on Small Talk, huh? We all know the story. Give away an elegant open source programming environment and the world will beat a path to your door. No sweat, no matter what you decide to call it. The people charged with establishing a brand identity for Sun's programming language for next generation application developers, though, decided upon a coffee metaphor for their trademark. Oak. The previous name was taken. Damn. Classic. Let's see. But why choose Java? By their own accounts, something of a mystery. This group interview, originally published in Java World 1996, offers a fascinating look back on how Java got its name. Okay, so how Java became Java. The lawyer, okay, quote, we're doing a quote here. Oh, from Oak Technologies. Lawyers had told us we couldn't name it Oak, said Frank Yellen, the senior engineer at Sun. The name was already trademarked by Oak Technologies. So a brainstorming session was held to come up with ideas for a new name. The session was attended by oh my goodness. The session was attended by, okay, TJ's making fun of me. End result was about 10 possible names. Oh my goodness. The end result was that about 10 possible names were chosen. They were then submitted to the legal department. Oh no. We've chosen 10 names. Legal department, which one can we do? 3 of them came back clean. Java, DNA, and Silk. Oh man, imagine if Java was named Silk. Just imagine for a second if Silk was the name. No one remembers who first came up with the name Java. Only one person, to my best knowledge, has ever suggested in public to being the creator of the name. Kim Poliz, who was the Oak product manager at the time, remembers things differently. I named Java. That's what she said. That's what she said. I spent a lot of time and energy on naming Java because I wanted to get precisely the right name. I wanted something that reflected the essence of the technology. Dynamic, revolutionary, lively, fun. Because this programming language was so unique, I was determined to avoid nerdy names. I also didn't want anything with net or web in it because I find those names very forgettable. I wanted something that was cool, unique, and easy to spell and fun to say. You know, history always provides us such a fun look into the past. Not only do you type the word com constantly in Java, but Java is now synonymous with not fun. How great is that? That somehow cool, unique, 2 out of 3 of its goals are now considered defeated. I love that. I love being able to look back into history and see someone's intention and just see that intention crumble before your eyes. Public static void main, this sucks. This feels like what a product manager would do. Everybody sit down. I'm going to write stuff on the board. Dynamic. There's probably a pause. Alive. Maybe a deep breath. Jolt. What is that, soda? Jolt Cola? Yeah, I want it snappy, like Jolt. Impact. Revolutionary. Etc. And led the group in brainstorming. I can hear my kids. Don't mind them. Police said the name Java emerged during that session. The other names included DNA, Silk, Ruby, and Whirl for web runner language. Yuck. Sami Shoyo, Shayo, I don't know how to say that name. Then a Sun engineer recalls a brainstorming meeting held sometime around January of 1995. It's actually hard to say where Java first came from, but it ended up on the list of candidates we chose, along with Silk, Lyric, Pepper, NetPros, Neon. Man, Neon is everywhere. and a host of others too embarrassing to mention. Some other candidates were a web dancer and web spinner, said Chris Worth, who was an engineer on the project from its inception. Yeah, web dancer sounds just genuinely the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Dodge Neon, still out there on the road somewhere. There's a Dodge Neon driving right now going, I'm the true Neon! Although marketing wanted a name that implied an association with the web or the net, I think we did very well to pick a name that wasn't associated with either one. Java is likely to find a true home in applications far from the internet, so it's best that it wasn't pigeonholed early. Get it as far away as possible, please. James Gosling. Do you think he's related to any other Goslings? You think maybe? Do you think his brother Ryan, could also comment on this? Java's creator remembers that the name originated in a meeting where about a dozen people got together to brainstorm. They love this term, There's a lot of brainstorming. I actually did a brainstorm meeting one time. So we had this project called Falkor. Falkor is named after the luck dragon in Neverending Story. And Falkor, we thought, since we're a movie company and we're releasing this open source product, maybe we should have like a different name for it. So we had a brainstorming meeting. And by brainstorming, what we did is we went to the pub across the street, ordered several beers, and drank for the evening until somebody came up with a name. And, after 6 hours of drinking and all of that, we actually came up with the name Falkor, spelled with a K. That's not a joke. That legitimately happened. And then that became this whole era of Netflix, which was there's Falkor with a C, then there was Falkor with a K, and then there's Falkor with a C again. And there's this thing that happened. We called it Middle Falkor. Okay, Middle Falkor was such a train wreck, but Falkor with the K, so beautiful. And then after all of that, here's the best part of the whole situation. During that evening, you know what I wanted to call it? Okay, this was during the height of House of Cards. So House of Cards Season 1 was out at this point, okay? So people loved House of Cards, right? House of Cards was an amazing show, Season 1. It was super cool. And I wanted to call it Stamper. I thought Stamper was a great name for a project. That was my goal, was to call it Stamper. I didn't get it. We called it Falkor with a K. Stamper? Yeah. Dude, Stamper was a great one. Stamper was like my favorite character. Can we all agree that in that show, Stamper was the best? Falcoholic. I love Stamper. Everybody loves Stamper. Java is an island in India. Yes, it is. Douglas Stamper. Yeah, it is an OG. He is. Gets shits done. Exactly. That was literally my tagline. That was my tagline. They're like, why Stamper? I'm like, it gets shit done. Everybody else is talking. Should have called it Indonesia. Well, anyways, okay, there's my naming story. I think everybody has a naming story. If you've ever worked in open source, you have a naming story, and it's a lot of fun. It's honestly really fun. It's just a lot of fun to do. The meeting arranged by Kim Police was fundamentally continuous wild craziness. Lots of people just yelled out words. This is such a 90s brainstorming meeting. We're going to write inspiration on the board, and people are going to just scream shit out. Who yelled out, what first is unnoble and unimportant. It felt like half the words in the dictionary were yelled out at one time or another. There was a lot of, I like this because, and I don't like that because. And at the end, we whittled it to a list of about a dozen names and handed it off to the lawyers. Gosh, what a great story. We were really disgusted and tired from all the marathon hacking we've been doing at the time, and we still hadn't found a name that we could use, said Timothy Lindholm, an engineer on the project. We were pressed for time as adopting a new name meant a lot of work and had releases coming up, so we set up a meeting to thrash out a list of names. I do not remember there being a particular champion of Java among the people from the original group that I've talked to about this. Most deny any memory of Java being anything but something that bubbled out of the group dynamic. I believe the name was first suggested by Chris Worth, said Arthur Van Hoff, then senior engineer. Nobody knows who said this. This is incredible, by the way. This is a great story. We had been in the meeting for hours, and while he was drinking a cup of Pete's Java, Pete's Coffee was known as Pete's Java back then, he picked up Java as an example of yet another name that would never work. The initial reaction was mixed. I believe the final candidates were Silk, DNA, and Java, however. Picked it up. That's not gonna work. Oh, that's a different Pete. Oh, yeah, Kim. Dude, oh my goodness. This is so good. Picked it up. Java. That's never going to stick. That is such a good story. Yeah, we looked at Java. We thought there's no way that's ever going to work out. Anyways, it worked out. Kim over there thought Java meant like cool and refreshing and hip and new. And so we figured we wanted to be that as a language. And today we feel very cool, hip and new. Java. Everybody loves Java, right? I suggested Lingua Java. But that didn't make it, really. Really. We could not trademark the other name, so Java ended up being the name of choice, and in the end, the marketing person, Kim Police, finally decided to go ahead with it. How they landed on coffee. I test marketed the name at parties and on my friends and family members, Police recalled, and Java got the most positive reactions from all the candidates. Oh, nice. Okay, qualitative studying. Let's go. Qualitative marketing is a very good thing to do. I think it's really good. Because it wasn't certain that we would, like, think of React. When React first started, like, really think about it. What was it considered reactive in any sort of sense? Sort of. You know, it wasn't, I mean, it didn't have any, like, reactive fundamentals, but it sticks. It's a very sticky name, right? It's a very, it has a good name to it, you know? You gotta appreciate a good name that sticks in your head. But it wasn't, like, Angular. Angular, right? Like, that did not take off nearly the same as React, because React is such an exciting programming term. You know what I mean? It's so sticky you can't even get rid of it. Angular is yeah, exactly. Angular is such a, like, you know, and the worst part is that they didn't even go with a little omega. Their logo should have been Angular Momentum. Like, if you're gonna go full dumb, you should have at least gone with the little W. Where's the little W? Right? Isn't that Angular Momentum? Am I completely wrong here? Am I the dumb one? I thought it was a little omega. You're right. Yeah. I'm the idiot. It's Sigma. I don't think it's Sigma, dog. Angular Velocity. Ah, crap. I see. I'm too stupid. It's angular. Okay, this is what your brain looks like after 15 years of not doing college. Okay, there you go. It is. Okay, so it's angular velocity. Angular velocity gets the omega. You should have dropped the omega, right? Yeah. Small omega. I knew it was small omega. LK99? Is it a little omega? You can't just come in here with the name Little Omega while I'm saying it and drop LK99. It's just not even allowed. Because because it wasn't certain that we would get any of the names cleared through trademark, I selected about 3 or 4 and worked with the lawyers on clearing them. Java passed, and it was my favorite. So I named the language Java and subsequently named the browser Hot Java. That's a bad name, by the way. Hot Java. As much better name than WebRunner. These engineers had a hard time parting with Oak, but they finally got used to it. I felt that branding was very important because I wanted Java to be a standard, so I focused on building a very strong brand for Java. Some would say she kind of dark roasted that Java. Yellen recalled a final meeting to vote the name. Every person got to rank Java, DNA, and Silk in order of their preference. Gosh, if only. If only. You know that society if meme? If we would have named Java Silk, think of it. Think of society today. The same name got the most favorite votes, also got the most least favorite votes. So it was dropped. And the remaining 2, Java, got the most votes. Come on, what was the other one? It came down to Silk or Java, and Java won out. Damn. Think about how close that is. Think about how close we got. Ryan Gosling seemed to favor Java over Silk. Kim Police had the final say over the name since she was the product manager, but most decisions back then were done by everyone kind of agreeing. And then someone would say, okay, this is what we're doing. Eric Schmid, then Sun's chief technology officer, said he was certain about the origin of the name. Oh, really? We met in early 1995 at 100 Hamilton. Wow, dude. I'm actually positive about it. We actually met at this address location at this time of the day in one of our standard operating reviews for a little businesses like Oak. Bert Sutherland was a senior manager at the time. He worked for me. And he and Kim and a few others, including James Gosling, were there. Kim presented that, one, we had to choose a new name now, and two, Oak, which we were all used to, was taken. As I recall, she proposed two names, Java and Silk. One of the two, she strongly preferred Java, and represented that that Live Oak team was in agreement. Bert and I decided to approve her recommendation, and the decision was made. For those reasons, I believe it is correct to give Kim the credit for the name. She presented it and sold it, and then made it happen in marketing. But I do see, but I do seem to recall that Kim was initially lukewarm to the name Java. Chris Worth not happy about this. Chris Worth is not happy. At the time, we were also trying to rename our browser to WebRunner, which had already been taken by Taligent, and something that wasn't already trademarked. Kim wanted things like Web Spinner or even Web Dancer. Is that a reference to a spider? Something that would make it clear that it was the World Wide Web product. The trademark search was done, and after several weeks, a short list of cleared names came back. There seemed to be an endless series of meetings and approvals that were necessary. Dude, this is so good. Imagine how much money was spent on naming Java, and then its subsequent, completely forgotten, never heard of browser called Hot Java. Is so good. Kim wanted us to hold up the release so we could find a better name than Java, but she was overruled by engineers, especially James and Art. It's here, Kim taking all the credit, but you know what? James Worth is saying, I don't think so. At one point, James said we're going to go with Java and Hot Java, and Kim sent some emails asking us to wait for other names that might. We're going to go with what we had, and we did. We just did a very quick set of renames in the source code and put the release out. In the end, I think the marketers and vice president had far less to say about the name than the engineers who were dying to get something out the door. Giga Chad move. I think Kim is rewriting history a bit when she suggests that she picked this name for some savvy marketing reason, Worth added. Oh, the steamy hot drama here. We ended up with this name because we ran out of options and we wanted to get our product out. The marketing justifications came later. Savage. Silk drama, boys. We got that silk sheet satin goodness drama going right now. Sleepless in Palo Alto. I don't claim to be the one who first suggested the name, said Worth when a question about Van Hoff's statement. It definitely was Pete's Java we were drinking, but it might have been me or James or someone else. I just don't recall exactly who said it, but it definitely wasn't Kim. That son of a bitch, not Kim! The feeling among myself and James and the other engineers was that we called it and it would be popular, Worth added. In the end, it doesn't matter who originally suggested the name because it was ultimately a group decision, perhaps helped along by a handful of caffeinated people. Timothy Linden, the engineer, concluded. All my homies hate Kim. Dude, first Kim starts off as the hero in this story. Now I'm over here like, I don't think I like Kim. Kim has been taking credit for Java when she shouldn't have. I think the extent to which the people involved have considered the history of Java's name without arriving at any general agreed upon resolution shows that the naming of Java was not done by some heroic individual, but by a byproduct of a creative and driven group trying very hard to achieve their goals, of which this name was part. Okay, reasonable. I would encourage you not to strive beyond what is reasonable in ascribing the naming of Java to an individual. That is simply not the way things worked in those days. Don't be fooled by how individuals and the media have... Dude, it's the media! It's the media, man! The media! Damn it! You know what they're doing? I wish I could do a good Alex Jones. I can't. Don't be fooled by the individuals in the media. And subsequently filtered many elements of Java's creation to fit their own ends. You know the media trying to fit their own ends about the creation of Java. Everybody knows that. You know why? It's because they had Java World 1996. It was an InfoWars 2022. See, Alex Jones has been behind this whole time. Damn. 7 reasons why Java is still great. I actually want to read that because I just don't believe that. Truly a society. Kim is the media. Your beard sucks. Whoa! Hey! My razor broke, and my wife buys me everything from my shirts to my hoodie, and she hasn't bought me a razor. This is not made up, and so I just haven't shaved.